Hello everyone, I'm ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Part 40. In the previous video, I know we're in the second half of the investigation. That makes sense, I promise. I don't really remember because basically after I recorded the last video, I got sick for a week, so I haven't recorded much at all because I just couldn't, talk, at all. My throat was, so, messed up. But I'm mostly over the sickness and can comfortably talk now without it hurting, so back in the recording, I had exactly enough of a backlog to last until today, which is convenient. It also means that my quest to even build up a backlog of videos is destroyed. So we have to, yeah, we did the thing with Dahlia where we learned that she did have a twin. It was my first court case 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died. You're talking about Terry Falls, right? You know about that case? You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago. Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Falls conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. Quit using that word, man! For some reason I can't say it! We already know what he is. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne, to keep her from talking. Her sister? Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife. Oh. And this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me. So after Terry Falls died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out? Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case. You can't make that face after saying that. Why are you so sure about that? It's simple. Dahlia Hawthorne is dead. Yeah, but is she? I mean, yeah, probably, because the possession stuff only works if you're dead, I believe, but... I mean, granted, they haven't really, set any hard and fast rules. They can kind of make it up as they go along to fit the story, which is fine. Well, her metabolic processes are a matter of interest only to historians, so to speak. That's the nerdiest shit I've ever heard anybody say. What do you mean about Dahlia Hawthorne is dead, Edgeworth? You were at the trial, right? When she got convicted of murder? That was many years ago. He's been executed by now, dude. Do I have to spell this out to you? What do you think happens to everyone you find guilty? Right. I must confess that I'm reading her file. Came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Wow, right. You were a real loser back then, weren't you? Dahlia Hawthorne was found guilty. Thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey. She do be again? At the time, Dahlia. She was possessed by a demon or something. It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. If you say fucking yesterday, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. She was executed last month. Okay, good. If you said yesterday, I was gonna, woo, about to pop right across the face. Pop. Executed? Phoenix, did you not know? I'm sure it's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. You do understand now. He can't possibly be connected with this case. He's dead, and once someone is dead, there's no way to revive them. Is anyone gonna tell him? No way to revive the dead. I wonder. Phoenix Wright, Lich Attorney? It seems you're not aware of one other connection yet, Edgeworth. And what is that? It's about Iris and Dahlia Hawthorne's mother. What's their mother got to do with any of this? She's Morgan Fay, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Crane channeling technique. You say Crane channeling technique? Do you know something about it? Oh yes, I know it's connected to that fraudulent spirit medium. Fraudulent? I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. Yeah, we just went over this like last video, didn't we? I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. Bro, we were there. We know this. Why are you like, I mean, I get it's, you know, supposed to be a refresher in case you didn't play the first game, I guess, even though they have already gone over this at this point. But like, in universe, it makes no sense for Edgeworth to explain this to Phoenix, because Phoenix works on the case and knows everything about, or the, you know, the follow-up case and knows everything about what happened. They were stumped. That's when they called her in. She's a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. Do you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they're all fraudulent. Edgeworth. Go to the police records room. It's all in there. Yeah, we know. It's gonna be like our file. All you have to do is check the DL6 incident case file and you'll know. Yeah, of course we'll know. Edgeworth, you were our defendant. Of course, how could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case. Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And you'll see that the Crane channeling technique is real. I don't know, that is just funny to me though. Edgeworth explaining that case to us when we had to learn everything about the DL6 to get him found innocent that one time. I don't know where that, can we go talk to Dahlia now? I can't remember what. Was there anyone else we needed to interrogate? I think we defeated what's her name here, right? Yeah, you've been blasted. Okay, so I think we can maybe go to Dahlia now? Not Dahlia, Iris. Legally distinct entities. So I remember we did like half of this, right? I don't really remember the answers anymore, but because we got to that part where she was like, prove that there could have been a second me, and we didn't have okay, so now we have this, that she's deceased. So I guess that's what we got out of Miles. Okay, so now it actually, because it used to just say like her sister, right? Because it didn't have her picture. So maybe that's what we needed to do to make it work. Because I think we tried to present just the fact that she had a sister and it didn't work for some reason. That seems kind of familiar. Yeah, the night of the crime. So we're just gonna kind of skim this because we've seen it many times, but I do need to somewhat read it. The person you saw... This person's... Okay, that would be Bikini. And then it's the letter, I think. Or a testimony. Yeah. That doesn't add up with this. This sword that I'm gonna stab you with. And then it's like, oh, that would mean there had to have been 2 of you. And then... I have a firm grasp of the situation now, Iris. You have a sister, don't you? A twin sister, perhaps? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman I know only too well. I didn't realize they had different hair colors, if I'm being honest. I had no recollection of that. I had no idea you knew of her. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. But she's no longer... Yes, I know. Her sentence carried out recently, wasn't it? I'm sorry. Thank you. There's no need to explain now, is there, Iris? The second you, who was here at the temple on the night of the murder? It was your twin sister, Dahlia Hawthorne. But you just said yourself a second ago. My sister's dead. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten this, Iris? This is a channeling dojo, a training ground of the Crane channeling technique. That night, someone channeled Dahlia's spirit, and you knew about it. And that's the secret you've been trying to hide from me. I was in my room in the main hall that night. As soon as I heard that I'd been spotted at the inner temple, I knew it. I knew it was my sister. Dahlia, the other half of me, who passed away last month. Just as I suspected, the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple on the night of the murder was Dahlia Hawthorne. Why didn't you tell me this before? Because it would, the plot had to be stretched out and made hard, you know. Because my sister always does the right thing. What the fuck are you talking about? Excuse me? And because I mustn't get in the way of what she's trying to do, I already betrayed her once before. I can't do it again. You betrayed her? What do you mean? That's why I have to accept I may be found guilty. It's the only way. Bro, like, you're in a cult, lady. What is she talking about? You know about it, don't you, Mr. Wright? About the fake kidnapping that took place here on Eagle Mountain 11 years ago? That was the start of it all. That's what started her down that twisted path. She started to commit crime after crime, and in the end, she lost her life. It's all because I betrayed her. How did you betray her, Iris? There's no coincidence that Eagle Mountain is where the exchange was to take place. After all, I helped plan the whole thing. Yo, don't do that. What? But I got scared, so I ran away. What are you talking about? Why would you help her? Stealing $2 million from your own father. That's awful, but it's not her father. I promised. I promised that I'd help. And you didn't do it for the money. Huh? It was revenge on our father. Wait, I thought the jeweler was not their actual father. I thought that was like who they got adopted by. They got adopted by different people. Revenge? Oh, did he? Because that was Morgan's, and then he left with one of the kids? Is that what happened? I don't know, man. I can't remember this shit. It's not important. What do you mean by revenge? He was a hideous man. He threw our mother away and then he sent her to hell. That seems a little presumptuous. Her mother? She must be talking about Morgan Fay. Our mother was the eldest daughter of the main branch of the Fay family. The main family had a lot of influence in many business and political circles at the time. As the eldest daughter, our mother was set to inherit all of that as the next master. That's the reason our father married our mother in the first place, for power. I mean, she wasn't forced to marry the dude. I mean, you know, if it was that obvious, you should have just been like, nah. But his plan backfired. Because our mother's sister took it all from her. She took over as the Master of Crane. That would be Misty Faye, Maya's mother. But before long, the credibility of the Crane tradition hit rock bottom. The new master, Mystic Misty Faye, made a terrible mistake. It was during the investigation of the DL6 incident. After that happened, our father took me and my twin sister away, leaving our mother and our home behind. He hated the place. He said it was a hick dive, and he had no reason to stay there. But like, how did he just steal the kids? I mean, yeah, you know, as long as she's not like a drug addict, she would probably keep custody. And even then sometimes. And that's when you came here to Hazakura Temple. Like, did he steal you? Yes, the woman my father took as his next wife already had a daughter, Valerie. I had no place in his new family, you see. Oh. And I haven't seen my mother once since then. Having the master seat stolen from her and being rejected by her own family? I've heard she's been very battered, spiritually and emotionally. I mean, she's also just kind of like a bad lady. I think I'm finally beginning to see how the pieces fit together. Like, I don't really... Oh no, my husband's an asshole, I'm gonna murder people. Like, yeah, plenty of people have, like, asshole spouses. Get over yourself. I have asked her everything I can in my capacity as a prosecutor. I mean, I can maybe the stealing the kids, that's something that's a little bit more sympathetic, I suppose. I don't really get the logistics of how that would work, because, you know, it's not like the Crane... I mean, the Crane school still had, like, money and stuff, so it's not like she was destitute and they got sent to the father because of that, but... This incident, everything related to it goes back to the history of the Fae clan. And that's what it looks like. Alright, so just one more thing I want you to tell me. What is it? During the incident in which your sister, Dahlia Hawthorne, poisoned a lawyer? He began a relationship with a certain college student in order to hide the evidence. That college student, have you heard anything about him? Well, I did hear one thing. She said she hated his guts. Oh, okay, thanks. Oh, well, you know, joke's on her, because we're still alive. Oh, how's the electric chair taste? You're welcome. Hurry up, Phoenix Wright. There's still much to investigate, is there? Leave these locks to me. I'll open them for you, I promise. Thank you. I suppose I'd better continue my investigation. Oh, there's nothing else to investigate. There's still one giant secret left to unlock. I mean, we've got to find Pearl. Pearl's Psych Lock. Oh, don't you mean Psycho Lock? Ollie Ollie Perlin Free? There you are. Look at that, they really did make a fire right in front of the shack. Oh, Mr. Nick! You're too late, Nick! You came here for one of our potatoes, we've already polished them all off. I think I've pretty much got all the evidence I need. Now I just need to find out what Pearls is hiding. Yeah, it's time to psychologically damage a tiny girl. Go! The night of the crime. After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elisa's room reading a book together, correct? Yes, I was so happy when she invited me, but I didn't go in the end. You didn't go? No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous. But Pearls never went to Miss Elisa's room because she was too worried about something or someone else. Pearls? On the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? Well, she went to the inner temple, I guess. I mean, yeah. You went here, didn't you, Pearls? I mean, you could be a little less aggressive. I think she's still not gonna open up to me. This is where you went because you were so worried, right? And the next question is, what were you so worried about? Now, I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? You mean you know? If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth? Okay. You went to this place for one very simple reason, and this is that. Well, Pearls, this is what you were worrying about, right? They all gonna blow up? There's something I'm worrying about right now, actually. What's that? You, Mr. Nick. Your face has turned a really strange color. Huh! Is that really not it? You shouldn't work so hard, you know? You need to take a break once in a while. Being shot by a 9-year-old, how embarrassing. How is that not it? She must have been worried about her? Okay, I mean, I guess the mother? I'll die of pneumonia if I take a nap at a drafty little shack like this. It's okay, I'm gonna have to think this through one more time from the very beginning. I mean, I really... Oh, we have to do this again? Why? Why would it be Dahlia? That doesn't make any sense. Or is she worried? Or if she's worried about Maya? That doesn't make any sense either, but it does, like, Dahlia makes no sense. It's obvious you're so worried about Pearls. Like, wouldn't it have been the freaking message she got that she would be worried about and conflicted by... Okay. It's obvious you're so worried about Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew that training Maya was undertaken was dangerous. After all, it was the special course. My, quite brave you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Wahaha. Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? Because it was you who introduced Hazakura Temple to Maya in the first place. You felt responsible, didn't you? You know what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I didn't sit still at all. Well, I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the inner temple. Yeah, no, that doesn't... I don't buy that at all. Now we're clear that you went to the inner temple that night, Pearls. Not clear is what happened after that. I feel like I'm confused then. So I guess this was actually... Well, that doesn't make any sense. Because, I mean, if this message was given to... I guess it was supposed to be given to Iris, and Pearl found it and channeled instead, which makes no sense why she would do that. Like on the spur of the moment thing of just finding a random message not addressed to her, and then being like, yeah, I guess I'll do it. About what time it was when you headed over to the inner temple? It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real train was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started. There was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock. Till after 10? How do you know what time it was? Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out. I heard the lights out bell. Hazakura Temple bell is pretty small though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing. I was really trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it, that would be terrible. I was trying to hear the bell. Tell me, Pearls. Why were you so worried about hearing that bell? Oh, I think I know why. The reason? So that would be this. Well, like, if she was given the instructions before she went to the inner temple, it's way more logical that she went to the inner temple because of the instructions than because she was worried. So it's either she just happened to find them randomly at the inner temple when she was there for another reason and then followed them, or she had them ahead of time and that's why she went to the inner temple. Like, that first question doesn't make any sense if that's the way they're going to go for it. I presume you recognize these pieces of paper? Where did you... In the incinerator at the end of the temple. You were following the instructions in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell. I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing. These instructions that were found in the incinerator. I believe they were written for you, Pearls. So they were addressed to Pearl. Okay, I'm a little mad about the first question then. Because jumping to the conclusion that, oh, she's worried about this letter and, like, conflicted over, following the directions because, I mean, it seems like she probably wouldn't want to kill Maya. You would hope that she would be conflicted about that if nothing else. That makes way more sense than being like, oh, she's just worried about Maya because of the training and feels responsible. I believe they were written for you, Pearls. For me, no. As you can see, a large portion has been burnt. But the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling? Taking into account the author of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious, yeah. Oh god. I was hitting A in it. It was Dahlia Hawthorne, wasn't it? That was the name that was in the letter. It's just as I suspected. It wasn't Iris who Sister Bikini met in the inner temple that night. It was Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you know anything about her, Pearls? You know what kind of a woman Dahlia Hawthorne was? No. I've never heard of anyone by that name before reading those instructions. Thought so. Pearls doesn't have a clue. She doesn't know that Dahlia is her sister. About the instructions in the letter I found, Pearls. Who wrote them? Whoever it was that asked you to channel the spirit of someone you'd never heard of. You must have quite a lot of respect for them. After all, you followed their instructions without question. Here's my next question. Who wrote this set of instructions for you to follow? Pearls? I have to wonder about something. You didn't have any idea what these instructions meant, did you? I mean, come on, Pearl. Like, you can't also have her be, like, fairly smart all the time, and then be like, I don't know what the hell gravely roast the master of the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition meant. I didn't realize somebody might die if I did this. But you followed them to the letter regardless. I mean, like, come on, Pearls. Why? Because it was your own mother who asked you, that's why. I mean, I'm not, like, mad, because, I mean, you are a 9-year-old, and your mother is fucking insane, but... How did you... Figured it out. The person who wrote you this letter was your own mother, Morgan Fay. Alright, Pearls, it's time you started telling me the truth. Mr. Nick, Oh, you're about to get mind crushed. Why is she holding back from me? I don't like this. Don't underestimate me just because I'm a child. Huh? You're trying to say I followed these instructions? I'd like to see some proof. What? Because I don't think you have any. Shit, she got me. She'd say anything rather than admit to carrying out those instructions. I guess I'll have to produce some more evidence then. One more thing should do it. Alright, Pearls. We both know someone carried out these instructions on the night of the murder. But you're right. There's no evidence that proves it was you. I knew it! However, I do know that whoever did it was a child. Do we? I wasn't aware that we knew this. Is it the gravy? Why would it have had to have been a child? Why would it have had to have been a child who channeled her? Huh? How do you know that? It couldn't have been an adult. No adult would have made a simple mistake like that. So, Dahlia was here, in the inner temple. A simple mistake? What do you mean by that? I'm sure you thought you were carefully following the instructions you've been given, but you misunderstood some of the words, and this is the evidence that proves it. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is blank, she is blah blah blah. This is a picture of her, use it when you channel her, I know you can do it. Once this is burn, this is done, burn them also, make sure to tell anyone about this letter. I mean, is it just that she didn't burn the letter right? I mean, that doesn't really make sense, because, like, there's been 3 different cases in the past where adults have made the same mistake with the incinerator. Because, like, any of the murdery shit, that's not pearls. So, like, any evidence in relation to the murder would not have been pearls. That would be a Dahlia mistake. Oh! Gravely roast the master. Oh my god, that's the dumbest shit. It was you who splattered gravy on this hanging scroll, wasn't it? Like, come on. Really? Like... Why would I do something like that? You remember what was written in that letter? Gravely roast the master in the fires of Hades and bring our vengeance to fruition? She didn't know how to read the words gravely and roast among others, right? How did you know that? Remember the conversation you had with Miss Elise on the night of the murder? No, that was like fucking 3 weeks ago for me. Perhaps we can read some books together. Really? I'd love to. I'm not very good at reading. Well then, would you like to practice reading with me? Miss Elise, so for example, how do you read this? It says gravely. It's kind of a tough word. Wow, they actually use gravely there? Oh, because she was using the... Okay, that's interesting. Like, would she have actually been using those words because of the letter? But that would mean that she was showing the letter to Elise then, if that's where she got those words from. Because if she was like, I don't know how to read this word, and then showed, you know, she would have showed the letter to be like, this is the word that I don't know how to read. But when she didn't teach you, that's what they meant. Gravely sounded like gravy to me, and the only roast I could think of was the food. And that's why you did it. That's how you covered the picture of the master in gravy from that night's pot roast. Yeah, but like, you know what vengeance means? To be honest, I did think it was a bit strange. Guess I really did get the wrong idea. Just a tiny bit. Really am useless. Didn't even burn the letter properly as my mother had asked of me. Such a simple thing, and I couldn't even do it right. After dinner that night, I had to go to the inner temple, with a pot full of the leftover gravy. The gravy. Saw the picture on the hanging scroll near the sacred cavern. I was sure it was the Master of Crane, like it said in the letter. I see, and then... Well, it was already way past 10 when I got there because of all the snow. So I went to the Inner Temple guest area. The guest area? Yeah, I thought I could wait there until the training was over. Why didn't you just go to the training hall? Because Mystic Maya's main training had already started and I couldn't interrupt it. So I just stayed where I was and prayed for her to get through it. But then Pearls, did you fall asleep? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just couldn't help it. Hey, don't worry about it, Pearl. Who cares if you fell asleep? Oh yeah, I forgot you were here this whole time. I fell asleep waiting for Iris too. It happens. Anyway, then you found yourself trapped at the Inner Temple? Yes, when I woke up it was morning. I tried not to cry, but Dusky Bridge wasn't there anymore and there was no one in the training hall. I thought everyone had left me because I overslept. I threw the letter in the incinerator and then I heated up the leftover gravy and I let off some steam by chucking some gravy on the scroll while you cried. Okay, so I'm confused. If she fell asleep, then how did she channel Dahlia? Or did she just think she fell asleep when she did channel Dahlia? I know what it's like, Nick. You used to leave me behind when I fell asleep at school too. Don't equate something so trivial with her experience, Larry. It was written right in my mother's letter. It said, as soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. I was on my way over to the Inner Temple when I heard the bell ring. So you channeled Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit. No. I tried, but I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. I've never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened. I tried and tried and I tried. Yesterday, this morning, the whole time. And I just couldn't do it. So, I mean, if she can't channel her spirit, that could mean that she's already channeled by someone else. Don't let it get you down, Pearl. It'll all work out. Like, I mean, it's possible that, like... Because it's not that Iris ended up doing it, right? Because that still wouldn't explain how Dahlia, or how Iris was seen at the Inner Temple. So if Iris did channel Dahlia back at the main hall, and that's how the murder happened... Because that was kind of one of the things I was a little confused about, was, we believe Dahlia is the one who did the murder, but the murder... Well, the murder took place at the Inner Temple. Potentially, but you still had to, like, transfer the body and everything. And when did the bridge catch on fire? I don't... Where's the weather report? Okay, at 10:45. So it's either that she did channel Dahlia and she didn't know, or someone else channeled Dahlia. Because if Iris channeled Dahlia, that doesn't answer the question of how there were two Irises. If you want, I'll come flying through the sky for you. Whoosh! Just like that. I mean, like a release channeled Dahlia? That doesn't really make... I don't know why she would have done that. But if Pearl did actually show her the letter... she would have known the plan. And I don't know, maybe she felt guilty about it. It was like, I'll play along and die because reasons. Wouldn't be the weirdest thing that's happened in this series. If you want to come flying through the sky for you, whoosh! Just like that. She never managed to channel the spirit. Is that why you think your spiritual powers are gone? Yes, I don't know what to do. Isn't there any other explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit? I suppose there's one other possibility. It's not very likely, though. Can you please tell me what it is anyway? Could happen if someone else is already channeling the same spirit, so I'm on the right track. Someone else. Because, I mean, one of the things that you know, I've mentioned a few times, is that when they found Iris, she was in the channeling position, right? So they found her in her room meditating. Only one of each spirit, right? Yep, it's like dating a girl, Nick. You can't see a hot chick if she's already taken. And that would mean on the night of the murder, someone else channeled her spirit before Pearls could. Which, I mean, would have to have been Elise, right? That's the only thing that makes any sense. But why? Someone channeled the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne. Because I feel like if Iris did it, that doesn't answer any of the questions. Like, it doesn't answer the central question of how Iris was seen in two different places at the same time. I'm a failure. Couldn't even grant my mother's final wish. Her final wish? Yes, this letter. This is my last wish, he said. So make sure you follow the instructions carefully. This letter. I definitely need to find out more about it. My mother has gone to a place called a penitentiary. Yeah, I know, Pearls. I visit her every month. And last month she told me... Time you've been waiting for has come, Pearl. There's something I need you to do for me. They hid a letter for you at our home before they brought me here. I want you to read it and do exactly what it says. It's for the good of the Fae clan, my angel. You'll be doing a great thing. Now, listen carefully, and I'll tell you where the letter's hidden. It's in the urn! My mother... I mean, that makes no sense, but... Mother is always nice to me, I love her so very much. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, you're not. You're not supposed to understand subtext. Moms will do anything for their kids, right? She said it was for the good of the Fae clan, so I knew I had to help her. I mean, Mystic Maya's part of the Fae clan, so it had to be good for her, too. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Nick? I guess so, yeah. I mean, Phoenix, this is probably your fault for not really explaining why her mother's in prison, which is for trying to kill Maya. There was a picture for the letter, too. I mean, you know, she's 9. That's, you know... That's old enough to know that your mom's a murderess, right? There was a picture with her letter, too. Picture of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Usually a picture is enough to channel someone's spirit, but this time... Pretty weird, huh? I think Larry knows anything about this stuff. There's something else that was strange about my mother's letter. The seal on it was broken, as if someone had already opened it once before. That sure is pretty strange! Someone had opened it already? But I mean, if it was at the channel, or if it was at their home... Thanks, Pearls. You really helped me out. You're very welcome. My mother's watching over us, so I'm sure Mystic Maya will be alright. Look at that innocent smile on her face. What am I supposed to say to her? Oh, hello. Finally figured it out, have you, Wright? You finally realized how terrible of a crime being painfully oblivious is? Gadot! The entrance to the Sacred Cavern looks like a frickin' puzzle workshop. Guess he's talking about Iris and the lock-breaking effort. It's all a waste of time. Why do you say that? Maya Faye isn't coming back. What? You don't know what you're talking about. How can you say something like that? It was your job to protect her, Trite. It looks like it was your job to protect Mia Faye. It's not our job to protect Mia Faye. We just worked there. We weren't even supposed to be there, dude. Two sisters caught up in the worst circumstances. I realize that, but I feel like if somebody like in your apartment building died while you were away, and you're like, "Oh, it was your job to protect them." Like, I don't know them. I mean, or even if you did know them, like, I don't know. It just feels like such a weird thing to blame Phoenix for. You were the only ones who were by their sides. You were the only one who could have saved them. I didn't know anything about what was going on. Tuh. What did I just say, Trey? I mean, like, you knew Maya more than us. It was your job to save them. Why weren't you there when she got murdered? Oh, okay. Oh, it's not. It doesn't feel so good when it's pointed back at you. Being oblivious is a heinous crime in itself. Tomorrow, we'll settle everything in court tomorrow. Once and for all. Mr. Nick. Is what that man said just true? It'll be alright, Pearls. I'm sure Maya's alive. You'll see for yourself tomorrow. Yeah, his music's really good. Yeah, that's right. I know I can trust you, Mr. Nick. My dear Pearl. You've done so well, my child. My Pearl. Better that you don't know what you've done. I knew this day would come. For you. The blood of the main family is no more. Now finally, for all this time, the Master's seat is yours. My last great wish. Seems I was just in time. Yeah, okay, nobody cares. You're just like still a murderers. Oh, no, we don't save over that. Alright, we will, stop here. In the next video, we will begin the final trial of the trilogy. Oh boy. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.